third video, we're going to come into our standing sequences. You are going to need either yoga blocks, 2 yoga blocks and a belt. If you don't have blocks, find a good sturdy book and perhaps a tie or a dressing gown belt, anything will do. We're not going to use them straight away, but just have them handy, so feel free to pause the video and then come back when you're ready with your props. When you've got your props ready, we're going to come into Uttanasana, so a forward fold over both legs. So come to the centre of your mats, take your hands to your hips and soften your knees. Once you've softened your knees, feel as though you can take your hips back in space, and notice that when you do that, you create a forward folding movement. So we're closing the angle at our hips between our thighs and our torso. Keep doing that, so keep taking the hips back in space, avoiding the temptation to bring the head towards the knees. Keep the back nice and long for as long as you can, so keep the hips going back in space, keep softening the torso down. Take the hands forwards, they can rest on blocks here, or they can rest on the floor. Good. And then just gently, keeping that nice long body, begin to take the hips up to the ceiling. So it doesn't matter if the legs stay bent. If this is the beginning of the class, your legs are likely to stay slightly bent. So we're going to hold on to one leg. So perhaps let's go with the right leg. So hold on to the right leg. You can hold on to the thigh if your forward fold is here. You can hold on to your calf. Draw yourself into the leg using that grip. So we're holding the right calf or the thigh with the hand, and we're drawing our body in. Then begin to straighten your left leg. Reach away with the left hand and see if you can find a nice side stretch and hamstring stretch at the same time. Good, and let's go to the other side. So hold on to the left calf or the left thigh with the left hand. Straighten or work towards straightening the right leg. Reach away with the right hand and find that delicious stretch in the side of the body. Your neck's just hanging nice and loose. Good. Come back to the centre, soften both knees, lengthen the body once more, hold behind both legs and begin to take the hips up to the ceiling. Again, the neck's nice and loose, there's no tension in the neck. Notice that I'm gluing my body to my thighs, my legs are still slightly bent. I'm focusing on this closure here and the lifting of my tailbone. I'm not thinking about straightening my legs. If your forward fold isn't that deep, it's absolutely fine to do this with the hands on the knees and think about lifting the tailbone from here. Okay, you'll still get a really delicious stretch wherever you come to. Okay, lots of places to go. Good. Just release that stretch a little bit, have a little wriggle. We're going to come into a couple of variations of Uttanasana now. So lift your toes from the floor, so the knees are bent, lift the toes and take hold of your big toe with your index finger and your middle finger. Wrap them around your big toe and then push your big toe into the floor so that it's fixing your hands there. My elbows are bent and take them out to the side. We've still got beautiful length in the body and the knees are still soft. Allow your head to dangle, push down with that big toe. Use that pressure to draw yourself into the legs and then begin to lift the tailbone up. And breathe. And release, softening the legs. Lift the toes and release the fingers. If you're ready for one more, we're going to lift one foot completely. So lift the toes of the right foot. Place the hand underneath the foot so that the big toe comes into the inside of the wrist. I'll just demonstrate with this so you can see. So we're placing the whole of the hand under the foot. Back of the hand is on the floor, palm of the hand is on the sole of the foot. Big toe into the inner wrist and push down with your toes. Bend the elbows, draw your body into your thighs, the knees are still bent at this stage, and then begin to lift the hips up to the ceiling. Once again, it doesn't matter if the legs stay bent, they probably will, and that's absolutely fine. Keep the contact between the belly and the thighs and focus on the lift in the tailbone. And breathe here. Soften the knees, release one hand and release the other. Take your hands to your hips, knees are bent, very slowly beginning to lift the body up, leading with the heart. Come up nice and slowly, we've been upside down for quite some time. And take the hands to prayer position to seal that practice in. Good, so good stretch down the hamstrings. So this is the point where you may need to use your belt. We're going to come into a posture called Uttitha, hasta, padangusthasana, which is a standing balance. So I'll demonstrate with the belt and then I'll demonstrate without. Come into the centre of your mats, once again starting in Tadasana, so feeling grounded through both feet. Lift up with your right foot. And we're going to take the belt, or the dressing gown belt, or the tie, whatever you're using, around the ball of the foot and hold both ends of the belt so your arm's inside the leg. Good. The other hand just come onto the hip. Be strong in this standing leg. Pull up on the knee and thigh. And then begin to extend the leg in front of you. So this is where you might need to adjust the belt. So if you can't extend the leg, just let go of some of the belt. Or if you find that you're not getting a stretch, then bring some of the belt in a little bit. Good. Flex the toes back towards you. Find a still point on the floor that doesn't move. And allow your gaze to soften there. We're going to slowly take the leg out to the side. Nice and slow so that you can keep the hips facing forward, keep this standing leg stable. It's fine to take this other arm out to the side if that helps with your balance. And then when you're ready, slowly, mindfully bringing the leg back to the centre. Bending the knee and releasing the foot down to the floor. Okay, so let's go to the other side. Once again, you can use the belt. If you know that you can hold the toe and straighten out the leg with the toe, please feel free to lose the belt and grab the toe instead. So, bending the knee, if you're using the belt, loop the belt around the ball of the foot. If you're holding onto your toe, hold the toe. Keep the chest high, so avoid the temptation to start down here. You want to start with the chest high. Everything else is your foundation, remember. Keep your foundation steady. When you're ready, keep that knee nice and high and extend the leg out in front of you. Your drishti, your gaze is on something still and steady. And when you're ready, very slowly beginning to take that leg out to the side, pausing when you feel that the hip is at its maximum rotation. Keeping that standing leg strong and steady. Slowly coming back to the centre. Bending the knee and releasing that foot to the floor. Good. Back to Tadasana. So the next standing posture that we're going to do is trikonasana, revolved triangle pose. So come towards the fronts of your mats once more. We're going to step back with the right foot. So step back a decent stride, but so that your both hips can stay level. So if you step back too much, the hips will go off at an angle, so keep them facing forward. You can walk the outside foot a little wider if that helps with your balance. And then we're going to soften the knee just a little, soften the front knee a little, drive the back heel into the floor. Take your arms out to the side. So we're going to take a twist. So we're going to move the right hand forward and the left hand back. Notice that we're staying upright. So the front knee is soft and we're taking a twist. Feel that you can draw the belly in, take the belly round, take the rib cage, take the chest, take the shoulders, and the arms follow. We're then going to reach into the right hand. We're going to reach forward, forward, forwards. And then we can take the hand to the floor, we can take it to the thigh, to the shin, or to a block. If you've got the rotation and the extension, you can take the hand to the outside of the foot. Good. Project the opposite hand up to the ceiling. And if all's well, slowly begin to straighten that standing leg, that front leg. Keep the belly drawing in, keep revolving in the torso, stacking one shoulder above the other. When you're ready to come out, we're going to soften the knee, push through that front foot to bring us back up into our standing twist. Undo the twist, take the hands to the hips and stepping forwards. So if you know that you need a block for this side, then have a block handy. Like I said, that's why we have them there to start with. When you're ready, come back to the fronts of your mats. Step back with the left foot this time. Find that distance, perhaps walk the front foot out to the side a little bit. Keep the hips facing forward. Breathing in, breathing out, extend the arms out to the side. First of all, before we go anywhere, softening the knee a little bit and taking the twist. Ground that back heel back into the floor. Then once you've found the twist, reaching forwards, keeping that front knee soft, reaching down to wherever you can reach. So it might be your thigh, it might be your knee, it might be your calf. Then beginning to take your right hip up to the ceiling, begin to straighten the leg, extending through the fingers towards the ceiling. Draw the belly in, rotate a little bit further. Take one shoulder back, the other shoulder forward. And breathe. Soften that front knee, push through the foot to lift you up, and then facing forwards. Hands to the hips, and stepping forwards. Good. And now you can have a sit down as we go on to our next video.